You account for about 375,000 people. 75% of the Jews that live outside of the 67 lines live relatively adjacent to the 67 lines. So if you want to employ land swaps, there's a limited amount of land that you actually could swap and accomplish bringing 75% of those people within the internationally recognized borders of Israel. And, most importantly, you're not carving up the West Bank to a point where you are preventing a viable and contiguous Palestinian state, which obviously is of essence to the Palestinians. Here we have some of the realities on the ground in terms of, well, do the Israelis have enough of this land on their side of the 67 lines that is not inhabited, that doesn't have infrastructure that's essential? How much is there? And how much land do we have to take if we're Israelis to get 75% of our Jewish Israelis on our side of the line? We've identified in the red area that we believe would qualify as swappable land. And it amounts to about 4.36 of the land mass of the West Bank and Gaza Strip. Now keep that number in mind, 4.36. That's the land available to swap. Now let's look at what the Israelis and the Palestinians have done in the past. If you may recall that Prime Minister Olmert in 2008, in the context of the Annapolis process that President Bush initiated, he put forth a border proposal that he provided to then President Abbas. Look at those numbers. Demographic data. In effect, what Prime Minister Olmert was saying was, here, President Abbas, here's my offer. We can end this whole calamity. Give me 85% of the Jews. There'll be 15% that won't be accounted for. We'll have to move them. I'm going to take 5.9% of your land, Mr. Abbas, and I'm going to give you back 5.2%. You might say, whoa, that's not an even swap. Well, the truth is no Israeli leaders ever agreed to a one-to-one swap. But what Prime Minister Olmert would probably say if he was seated here, he'd say, yeah, but you see this little arrow here connecting Gaza and the West Bank? We're going to create a tunnel, we're going to create a bridge, we're going to create a road. We may not give them sovereignty, but it's worth something if we're ever going to connect the West Bank and Gaza. So we're pretty close, 5.9, 5.2, let's not get too worked up over it. Now, what did the Palestinians, what did President Abbas say? What President Abbas said was, let me show the numbers. Remember the numbers from Prime Minister Olmert, 5.9%. President Abbas came back and said, you can't get 85% of the Jews on your side of the line, you can get 62% of the Jews on your side of the line. And I'll give you 1.6% of my land, and I'm going to take back 2.0. Don't get focused on the 1.6 or the 2.0. That's meaningless in the context of everything that's happened in this conflict. But let's stop here.